Welcome to the Transum Podcast, a monthly roundup of the new features on the transum.org website, providing mathematical puzzles, games, learning activities, and the ever-popular mathematics lesson starter of the day. Here's your host, John Tranter.
Welcome to Transum Mathematics Podcast number 48, recorded for November 2018. Okay, I hope you're sitting comfortably. Well, although listening to podcasts, I guess, can be done anywhere, so you may not be sitting at all. So anyway, I hope your brain is ready for a puzzle, because here is this month's puzzle. Type a 4-digit number onto your calculator, or imagine a 4-digit number typed on your calculator. But the keys used to type in this number must form a rectangle. So each digit should be one of the corners of this rectangle, and you can work your way around the rectangle either clockwise or anti-clockwise, starting at any of the corners to produce this 4-digit number. Okay, if you do this a number of times and create many 4-digit numbers in this way using different rectangles on the keypad, the puzzle is to figure out what these numbers have in common. They are all divisible by the same prime number. What is this number that goes into all of the numbers that you have produced? Okay, the answer will be at the end of the podcast, after I've told you about the most notable new additions to the Transum website that appeared during October. And of course, you can find these by going to the newsletter. That's transum.org/newsletter, and find the links to all the activities that I'm about to talk about. So the first one isn't a complete activity, it's just a new level to an old activity. Venn Paint has now got a level 3. And I've created this level 3 because I decided that we needed more of the more unusual Venn diagrams. The ones that are disjoint, or the ones where one set is a proper subset of another, and all sorts of weird and wonderful diagrams will appear in level 3. And just to remind you, if you haven't been to Venn Paint before, it's a very convenient way of practicing colouring in Venn diagrams showing various regions, and much better than doing it on paper because there's an undo button. So if you make a mistake, you can very quickly erase it and it's not a problem. So have a look at that Venn Paint number 3. Interestingly, by the way, fun fact here, that Venn diagrams were introduced to the world by a mathematician whose name was John Venn. He lived from 1834 till 1923. But what is less known about Mr. Venn is that he also built rare machines. One of his machines was designed to bowl cricket balls. It was so fascinating that when the Australian cricketers were visiting Cambridge, the machine was used to entertain them, and it actually bowled out their top-ranking player 4 times consecutively. Anyway, that's the fun fact about Venn. Let's go back to the maths, and the next new activity is called Cylinders. It's a new multi-level online exercise requiring pupils to apply the formulae for volumes and surface area of cylinders to answer a wide variety of questions, starting with the routine and going on to more complex problem-solving type experiences. Next, fractions by wholes. This activity adds to the already extensive collection of activities to do with fractions. But this is particularly to do with dividing and multiplying proper fractions and mixed numbers by whole numbers. It's a 3-level set of exercises, and just to add a little bit of novelty here, every time you get a correct answer, you're awarded with a piece of a jigsaw, which can be dragged into a rectangular area, and once put together, this simple jigsaw puzzle reveals a maths joke. So just a little bit of extrinsic motivation there, even though I've got the name Daniel Pink and his book Drive in my mind, but nevertheless it can't hurt once in a while, can it, to have a little laugh. So that's called Fractions by Holes. Now the next couple of activities are to do with Pascal's triangle, a fascinating construction of numbers, and you can get to know this famous pattern with a series of activities ranging from filling in a partially completed triangle to colouring in certain number patterns such as multiples to reveal the beautiful patterns. So once you've been introduced, the activity does go on with little quizzes, and actually goes as far as introducing the binomial theorem for the older students. And related, for next month in particular, a seasonal Pascal's Christmas tree. And following on from the original activity, it introduces a festive theme in this interface that allows pupils to light up the Christmas tree by flashing numbered lights according to the number patterns. That's a little bit of fun, but could be revealing, and it's particularly designed for obviously the Christmas season there.
You are listening to the Transum podcast. You can find Transum Mathematics at www.transum.org.
Last week, while on one of my regular park runs, I enjoyed listening to a podcast by Grammar Girl. This is presented by Mignon Fogarty, and she explained that numbers do not exist even today in all cultures.
Numbers don't exist in all cultures. For example, there are numberless hunter-gatherers embedded deep in Amazonia, living along branches of the world's largest river tree. Instead of using words for precise quantities, these people rely exclusively on terms analogous to a few or some. In contrast, our own lives are governed by numbers. As you hear this, you're likely aware of what time it is, how old you are, your checking account balance, your weight, and so on. The exact and exacting numbers we think with impact everything from our schedules to our self-esteem. But in a historical sense, numerically fixated people like us are the unusual ones. For the bulk of our species' approximately 200,000-year lifespan, we had no means of precisely representing quantities. What's more, the 7,000 or so languages that exist today vary dramatically in how they use numbers. Speakers of anumeric or numberless languages offer a window into how the invention of numbers reshaped the human experience.
Anyway, if you'd like to know more about this, look up the Grammar Girl podcast, episode 642, and there is a book that is the basis of this podcast, and I've put a link to the book at transum.org/newsletter, so you could go and buy the book. It would make a good Christmas present, by the way. Enjoy that piece of information about number. Okay, the answer to the puzzle of the month is 11. And subscribers can see the proof of this fact on the advanced starter page called Key 11. So you go to the normal starter of the day calendar page, look at the buttons at the bottom. One of them is called Advanced Starters. Click on that and then scroll down to the starter called Key 11. And that's all about this interesting phenomena about rectangular keys press positions on calculators, or however you describe that. Anyway, that's all for now. See you next time. Bye.
Thank you for downloading and listening to the Transum podcast. You can find the website at www.transum.org, where you're welcome to use all of the activities absolutely free, or jump in with both feet and become a Transum subscriber.